Hello everyone, welcome to ITLS Academy. Our today's lecture is on antimicrobial agents. An antimicrobial is an agent that kills microorganisms or stops their growth. Antimicrobial medicines can be grouped according to the microorganism they act primarily against. For example, antibiotics are used against bacteria and antifungals are used against fungi. Types of antibiotics. In this particular lecture, we will discuss the types of antibiotics. First of all, we are going to deal with the antimicrobial agents. The theme of this section is antimicrobial agents. These are considered in three categories. First, antibiotics and de novo chemically synthesized chemotherapeutic agents. Second, non-antibiotic antimicrobial compounds, disinfectants, antiseptics and preservatives, and third is immunological products. Antimicrobial agents, any of the large variety of chemical compounds and physical agents that are used to destroy microorganisms or to prevent their development. The subject covered comprise the manufacture, evaluation and properties of antibiotics, the evaluation and properties of disinfectants, antiseptics and preservatives, the fundamentals of immunology and the manufacture, quality, control and clinical use of immunological products. The mechanism of action of antibiotics and non-antibiotic agents are also considered together with an account of the ever-present problem of natural and acquired resistance. Problem of recent years involving listeriosis, salmonellosis and giardiasis disease have received attention, as have the re-emergence of tuberculosis and the importance of methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus and vancomycin-resistant Enterococci. Next is our antibiotics. An antibiotic was originally defined as a substance produced by one microorganism which inhibit the growth of other microorganism. Antibiotics are medicines that help stop infections caused by bacteria. They do this by killing the bacteria or by keeping them from copying themselves or reproducing. The word antibiotic means against life. Any drug that kills germs in your body is technically an antibiotic. The advent of synthetic methods has, however, resulted in a modification of this definition, and an antibiotic now refers to a substance produced by a microorganism or to a similar substance produced wholly or partially by chemical synthesis, which in low concentrations inhibit the growth of other microorganisms. Before bacteria can multiply and cause symptoms, the immune system can typically kill them. White blood cells attack harmful bacteria, and even if symptoms do occur, the immune system can usually cope and fight off the infections. Sometimes, however, the number of harmful bacteria is excessive and the immune system cannot fight them all. Antibiotics are useful in this scenario. Chloramphenicol was an early example. Antimicrobial agents such as sulfonamides and 4-quinolones produced solely by synthetic means are often referred to as an antibiotics. The first antibiotic was penicillin. Penicillin-based antibiotics such as ampicillin, amoxicillin, and penicillin G are still available to treat a variety of infections and have been around for a long time. Some medical professionals have concerns that people are overusing antibiotics. They also believe that this overuse contributes toward the growing number of bacterial infections that are becoming resistant to antibacterial medications. According to the Center for Disease Control, outpatient antibiotic overuse is a particular problem. Antibiotic use appears to be higher in some regions such as the southeast. For example, use of carbapenems, a major class of last-line antibiotics, increased significantly from 2007 to 2010. Here comes the sources of antibiotics. There are three major sources from which antibiotics are obtained. First source is microorganism. For example, bacteriocin and polymyxin are obtained from some bacillus species, that is streptomycin, tetracycline, etc. From Streptomyces species, gentamicin from Micromonospora purpura, gracioflavin and some penicillins and cephalosporin from certain genera, that is Penicillium acromosium of the family Aspergillacea, and Monobactums from Pseudomonas acidophila and Gluconobacter species. Most antibiotics in current use have been produced from Streptomyces species. The most important examples are benzylpenicillin, that is penicillin G, and phenoxymethylpenicillin, that is penicillin V. Second source of antibiotic is synthesis. Chloramphenicol is now usually produced by a synthetic process. During the commercial production of benzylpenicillin, phenyl acetic acid is added to the medium in which the penicillium mold is growing. This substance is a precursor of the side chain that we called as R. In benzylpenicillin, growth of the organism in the absence of phenyl acetic acid led to the isolation of 6-APA. This has a different RF value from benzylpenicillin, which allowed it to be detected chromatographically. Third source is semi-synthesis of the antibiotics. This means that part of the molecule is produced by a fermentation process using the appropriate microorganism, and the product is then further modified by a chemical process. Many penicillins and cephalosporins are produced in this way. Next is our beta lactam antibiotics. There are several different types of beta lactam antibiotics that are valuable or potentially important antibacterial compounds. These will be considered briefly. Here is our penicillins and macillians. The penicillin's general structure may be considered as being of the following types. First is naturally occurring. For example, those produced by fermentation of molds such as Penicillium notatum and Penicillium chrysogenum. The most important examples are benzyl penicillin and phenoxymethylpenicillin. Second type is semi-synthetic. In 1959, scientists at Beecham Research Laboratories succeeded in isolating the penicillin nucleus 6-aminopenicillinic acid. During the commercial production of benzyl penicillin, phenyl acetic acid is added to the medium in which the penicillium mold is growing. This substance is a precursor of the side chain in benzyl penicillin. A second method of producing 6-APA came with the discovery that certain microorganisms produce enzymes, penicillin amidase, which catalyze the removal of the side chain from benzyl penicillin. Our fourth point is acylation of 6-APA with appropriate substances result in new penicillins being produced which differ only in the nature of the side chain. Some of these penicillins have considerable activity against gram-negative as well as gram-positive bacteria and are thus broad-spectrum antibiotics. Pharmacokinetic properties may also be altered. The sodium and potassium salts are very soluble in water, but they are hydrolyzed in a solution at a temperature dependent rate to the corresponding penicilloic acid, which is not antibacterial. Penicilloic acid is produced at alkaline pH or at neutral pH, but at acid pH a molecular rearrangement occurs giving penicillic acid. Instability in acid medium logically precludes oral administration since the antibiotic may be destroyed in the stomach. For example, at pH 1.3 and at 35 degrees centigrade, methicillin has a half-life of only 2 to 3 minutes and is therefore not administered orally, whereas ampicillin, which has a half-life of 600 minutes and is obviously suitable for oral use. Benzyl penicillin is rapidly absorbed and rapidly excreted. However, Certain sparingly soluble salts of benzyl penicillin, that is, benzathine, benzathymine, and procaine, slowly release penicillin into the circulation over a period of time, thus giving a continuous high concentration in the blood. Simultaneous administration of benzyl penicillin may be given initially. Prodrugs, example, carbenicillin esters, ampicillin esters, are hydrolyzed by enzyme action after absorption from the gut mucosa to produce high blood levels of active antibiotics, carbenicillin and ampicillin respectively. Several bacteria produce an enzyme beta lactamase, or we can say penicillinase, which may inactivate a penicillin by opening the beta lactam ring. However, some penicillins are considerably more resistant to this enzyme than are others, and consequently may be extremely valuable in the treatment of infections caused by lactamase producing bacteria. In general, the penicillins are active against gram-positive bacteria. Some members, example ampicillin, are also effective against gram-negative bacteria, though not Pseudomonas aeruginosa, whereas others are active against this pathogenic organism also. Next group of the antibiotics is tetracycline group. Tetracyclines. There are several clinically important tetracyclines characterized by 4 cyclic rings. Tetracyclines by catalytic hydrogenation and chromocyclines are obtained from chlorotetracycline, which is itself produced from Streptococcus aureofaciens. They consist of a group of antibiotics obtained as byproducts from the metabolism of various species of Streptomyces. Although some members may now be thought of as being semi-synthetic. The tetracyclines are broad spectrum antibiotics, that is, they have a wide range of activity against gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Pseudomonas aeruginosa is less sensitive but is generally susceptible to tetracycline concentrations obtainable in the bladder. Resistance to the tetracycline develops relatively slowly, but there is a cross resistance, that is, an organism resistant to one member is usually resistant to all other members of this group. However, tetracycline resistant Staphylococcus aureus strains may still be sensitive to minocyclines. Supra-infections, or we can say overgrowths with naturally tetracycline resistant organism, for example Candida albicans and other yeast and filamentous fungi affecting the mouth, upper respiratory tract, or gastrointestinal tract may occur as a result of the suppression of tetracycline susceptible microorganism. Thiotetracyclines contain a sulfur atom at position 6 in the molecule. One derivative, thiacycline, is more active than minocyclines against tetracycline resistant bacteria. The tetracyclines are no longer used clinically to the same extent as they were in the past because of the increase in bacterial resistance. Our next group is glycocyclines. The glycocyclines represent a new group of tetracycline analog. They are novel tetracyclines subconstituted at the C9 position with a dimethyl glycosyl amido side chain. They possess activity against bacteria that express resistance to the older tetracyclines by an efflux mechanism. Rifamycins. The rifamycins comprise a comparatively new antibiotic group and consist of rifamycins A to E. From rifamycin B are produced rifamyde and rifamycin SV, which is one of the most useful and least toxic of the rifamycins. Rifampicin, a bactericidal antibiotic, is active against gram-positive bacteria including Mycobacterium tuberculosis and some gram-negative bacteria but not Enterobacteriaceae or Pseudomonads. Aminoglycoside, aminoxylethol antibiotics. Aminoglycoside antibiotics contain amino sugars in their structure. Deoxystreptamine containing members are neomycins. Framacetine, gentamicin, kanamycin, tobramycin, amikacin, natriamycin and cesomycin. Gentamicin is active against many strains of gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, including some strains of the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Both streptomycin and dihydrostreptomycin contains streptadine, whereas the aminocyclotidal streptomycin has no amino sugars. Its activity is greatly increased at pH values of about 8. It is often administered in conjugation with carbapenicillin to delay the development of resistance. Kanamycin is active in low concentrations against various gram-positive, including penicillin resistant staphylococci and gram-negative bacteria. Paromomycin finds special use in the treatment of intestinal amoebiasis. It is amoebicidal against Entamoeba histolytica and of acute bacillary dysentery. Neomycin is poorly absorbed from the alimentary tract when given orally and is usually used in the form of lotions and ointments for optical applications against skin and eye infections. Fremisatin consists of neomycin B with a small amount of neomycin C and is usually employed locally. Our next group of antibiotics is macrolides. These contain older members. The macrolide antibiotics are characterized by possessing molecular structures that contain large or 12 to 16 membered lactone rings linked through glycosidic bonds with amino sugars. Staphylococcus aureus is less sensitive to erythromycin than are pneumococci or homolytic streptococci, and there may be a rapid development of resistance, especially of staphylococci in vitro. The most important members of this group are erythromycin. Erythromycin is active against mostly gram-positive bacteria. New members are the new macrolides are semi-synthetic molecules that differ from the original compound in the substitution pattern of the lactone ring system. However, in vivo with successful short course of treatment, resistance is not usually a serious clinical problem. On the other hand, resistance is likely to develop when the antibiotic is used for long period. Miscellaneous antibacterial antibiotics. Antibiotics described here are those which cannot logically be considered in any of the other group above. Chloramphenicol, fusidic acid, lincomycin and clindamycin, mupirocin are included in this group. Here comes the antifungal antibiotics. In contrast to the wide range of antibacterial antibiotics, there are very few antifungal antibiotics that can be used systematically. First is griseofulvin. This is a metabolic byproduct of Penicillium griseofulvum. Lack of toxicity is always of paramount importance, but difference in structures of and some biosynthetic process in fungal cells mean that antibacterial antibiotics are usually inactive against fungi. Griseofulvin was first isolated in 1939, but it was not until 1958 that its antifungal activity was discovered. It is active against the dermatophytic fungi, that is, those such as trichophyton causing ringworm. Polyenes. Polyene antibiotics are characterized by possessing a large ring containing a lactone group and a hydrophobic region consisting of a sequence of 4 to 7 conjugated double bonds. The most important polyenes are nystatin and amphotericin B. Nystatin has a specific action on C. albicans and is of no value in the treatment of any other type of infection. It is poorly absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract even after very large doses. The blood level is insignificant. It is administered orally in the treatment of oral thrush and intestinal candidiasis infections. Amphotericin B is particularly effective against systemic infections caused by C. albicans and Cryptococcus neoformans. It is poorly absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract and is thus usually administered by intravenous injections under strict medical supervision. Amphotericin B methyl ester is water soluble unlike amphotericin B itself and can be administered intravenously as a solution. The two forms have equal antifungal activity, but higher peak serum levels are obtained with the ester. Although the ester is claimed to be very less toxic, neurological effects have been observed. An ascorbate salt has recently been described which is water soluble of similar activity and less toxic. Thank you very much guys for watching this session. This is the first part of the antimicrobial agents. We will continue with the many more antibiotics or we will discuss synthetic antibiotics in our upcoming lecture. Thank you very much for watching this session.